Day 6, about 7 a.m. All packed up, just leaving the Lake Durant public campgrounds, heading for the trail, which is right next to my campsite. And then today's the Blue Mountain Lake climb. So today's the big climb of the hike. I'm hoping to be up on top of the ridge by about noon, where I'll take a break, and then I'll have about another 9 miles to go to camp. Feeling pretty good. Looking forward to a nice easy start, and then the climb begins. All right, keep you posted as the day goes on. Just so y'all believe me, trail goes up a drainage stream, so this is normal. Just wanted to show you guys what it looks like. Thank God I didn't come through this in the rain. So just finished the first 7+ miles of the Blue Mountain to Long Lake section, or the Lake Durant to Long Lake section over the Blue Mountain Ridge. And now I start the 3-mile climb up to the Blue Mountain Ridge. Hoping this trail's a little drier. That last section, the first 7 miles, were extremely wet and extremely sloppy. I made some pretty good time, but I'm happy to be on a bit of trail at the moment that's a little bit drier. Alright, should be climbing for like the next 2 hours. So, head down, keep pushing. See you at the top. Well, I made it to the top of Blue Mountain Ridge, and I actually made really good time. I got here at 11:10, which was a lot earlier than I was anticipating. But, to my disappointment, there was no scenic view. I passed it and actually had to go back to look for the bend in the trail where I thought it would be, and there's nothing. I guess there's too many leaves, or I don't know, whatever. But the trek up was actually no drier. It was 3 miles of climbing up the swamp with a super steep gradient at the end. So, tough trek, a little disappointed. But I had a banana and an apple, which was a pleasant surprise that some nice people gave me as trail magic yesterday. So I had them. I drank a bunch of water that I had toted up for coffee, but there was no stop point. So onward and downward to Long Lake we go. Actually looking forward to a downhill trek. All right, next stop, Long Lake. So, well, the ascent going northbound up the Blue Mountain Trail was kind of tough. The descent has been absolutely lovely. Nice change. The trail's really good, and the gradient's nice on the legs. After a 10-mile up, you get a nice 5-mile down. So, very happy. There's definitely a morale booster after the top. Just gonna keep pushing out some more miles today. Hopefully gonna take a stop at the road and take my feet out of my shoes. Maybe make a quick coffee. But we'll see. Definitely on track. So, alright, keep trucking. So I finished the Blue Mountain Wild Forest section of the trail, and I honestly couldn't be happier. Oh, today was quite a day. Big trudge. I want to get a little bit more going before I make camp for the night. But I'm going to take a rest and then get my lunch break in, and then I'll continue. Got a nice sunny clearing up here in the parking area. So, I'm looking forward to that. But another section done. 3 more to go. So I'm here in the parking lot of the Blue Mountain Lake Long Lake section of the trail, and I got here around 1:15 and was able to sit in the sunny parking lot and dry my shoes, air out my shirt, make a couple cups of coffee, have lunch, fix my blisters, and relax. So I have dry feet. I'm feeling really good. I'm looking forward to the next section. It's kind of cooled off a little bit. Some clouds came out, so I think it's going to be a good next couple miles as I head towards camp for the night. I really needed that rest after that long wet stretch, which was Blue Mountain Lake to Lake Durant. This stretch where that rest was a huge morale booster. My pack is really light. I'm out of water, which is okay. I think I'm going to carry light for a little bit. And the trail continues across the road and up that street. And hopefully I'm by camp at like 6:30. It's about 3:30 now, so I got anywhere between 5 and 6 miles to do. So, and I think the trail is going to be some good, easier trail coming up. So I think we'll have a good time. So Long Lake to Shattuck Clearing. All right, back to trail. We're at the woods entrance. Just did the nice little road walk, and we're going to do the Shattuck Clearing section from Long Lake. So Kelly's Point lean-to is 4.8. There's Rodney's Point 6.1, I think, after that. So, all right, time to get this section going, and then really only 2 more sections after this one. So, making good time. Definitely be there by Friday. I'm here at Rodney Point lean-to number 1. This is Camp 6, and this is by far my favorite lean-to so far. It's here on Long Lake. I got a nice lake breeze. The surroundings are really pretty woods. The lake's in the background. And I was able to dry out my tent from last night. And I'm looking forward to getting a good night's sleep. This night's got a nice privy up the hill and plenty of spots to hang a bear bag. So I don't have to look too hard for a good one, which is nice. So I actually forgot to include in my previous video that I actually have neighbors tonight where am I? Well, the lean-to next to me. There's a group of 5 brothers, all older gentlemen. Very nice. They came over and said hello. And they boated in on Long Lake. So it'll be nice to actually have the company for the evening. Have somebody around. This is a first for me, this whole trip. So, and again, this is the lean-to that I'll be staying in for the evening. Very excited. Very, very excited. My sleeping bag drying off in the corner. Okay, so day 6 has been quite a day. I started off in Lake Durant and made it all the way to Rodney Point lean-tos. I'm in Rodney Point lean-to number 1 for the evening. I did a 21-mile day, and the first 10 miles was the climb up Blue Mountain Ridge, which was just a sloggy, swampy trudge of an incline. And then I got all the way up to the top, hoping for a scenic viewpoint, and to my disappointment, it really just wasn't there. It was a real bummer after such a big climb. So I stopped up there real brief, ate an apple, banana, and a chocolate bar that this nice woman gave me at Lake Durant. Some trail magic, which really, trail magic is absolute magic. It really is the specialist thing, especially after 5 days on the trail. Getting fresh fruit and a candy bar is just really made my day. So then I did the trek down, and I got to the end of that section, which was 15 miles at about 1:15. I was hoping for a scenic overlook at the top of the ridge because I was going to air out my tent, my sleeping bag, and have lunch and a coffee. But I didn't have any of that. But instead, at the bottom of the section at the trailhead, there was a nice sunny parking lot. So I just parked myself there. I took off my socks and shoes and actually dried them all out, which was amazing. And made myself 2 cups of coffee, sat, talked to the family, caught up with everybody, which was a real morale booster, and really just relaxed and let my knees rest while everything aired out. And I hung out and got some sun. I was actually down there for like 2.5 hours in that parking lot just hanging out. And then I started the trek up Long Lake to the Long Lake Trailhead, which goes up the road right across from the end of the Blue Mountain Wilderness section. And it's Long Lake to Shattuck Clearing. and the trail was actually really nice. I had really dry feet all the way to the end, where I actually slipped. Well, no, I didn't slip. Before that, it rained. I got a freak thunderstorm. I heard some thunder right when I started. I was like, maybe it will hold off, and it didn't. So I got a little wet, not too bad. It did rain, but since you're in the woods, it's not terrible. And I got a little wet, so it actually washed all the mud out of my shoes, which was nice from the Blue Mountain section. And then I slipped in a stream, or a brook, so got the rest of the mud out, which is okay. So, and I arrived at the lean-to. It was a little hard to find because it's just an unmarked side trail. And the guidebook says you have to cross a brook, and then it's 0.2 miles up. There are 3 brooks before it. So I was a little confused. I cameled in actually some extra water, so I have some nice water for tomorrow. I don't have to worry about picking any up. I can just filter it tonight and go. And this is actually my favorite lean-to of all the lean-tos. I got a nice breeze coming off of Long Lake, which is just stunning. And the lean-to is actually, I don't know if you can see it, back up in that direction. So the bugs are minimal. I'm actually sitting in a pair of shorts and a short sleeve shirt, which I haven't been able to do most nights, except Mud Lake. Mud Lake had a nice breeze and no bugs. So I'm very happy to air out the body and get ready for tomorrow's trek. I did 21 miles today, so tomorrow's a lighter day. I don't have to do 19. I can do 18 and see how I feel. But tomorrow, I'll finish the Long Lake to Shattuck Clearing, and then I'll do Shattuck Clearing to Duck Hole, and then I'll probably stay at a lean-to in Duck Hole, and then have just 13 miles out to Lake Placid, which I'll be finished with my thru hike, which is amazing. I can't believe it's actually coming to an end. It's a little tough at parts, but now that it's ending, it's yeah, kind of bittersweet. I learned a lot about myself, figured out a lot about myself. I learned a lot of new skills, honed some old skills. So it's really been a good trip, even with the trudging and the quote-unquote bad sections of trail. It's overall, I'd say I'd give this one a very nice trip. Definitely a trip of a lifetime. Hopefully I'll do more like it, but definitely a wonderful experience. I'm looking forward to getting a good night's sleep tonight, which I think I will with a breeze and a nice cool night. Not cold, be cool, and less dew. Last night in Lake Durant, the dew was really bad, so my tent was soaking wet when I got here. But I was able to air everything out, dry everything in the wind. So I'm actually really happy. Had a really nice dinner, and looking forward to just chilling out by camp. Washed my feet in the lake, which was amazing. Got all the caked on mud off. And then I'll clean them up, treat my blisters, and curl in for the night. All right, see you all on the trail tomorrow, bright and early, to do the second to last section before Lake Placid, day 7, coming up tomorrow. And I think it's going to be a good one. So, good night, everybody.